Welcome to this presentation on diabetes prevention and management from the Women's Healthy Life Project at the Companion House Medical Service in Canberra. The slides on this presentation are in Tamil. My name is Cleo Fleming and I'm a Community Projects Officer with training in diabetes awareness from Diabetes New South Wales and ACT. What will you learn from this presentation? You will learn what diabetes is, what the three main types of diabetes are, what the signs and symptoms of diabetes are, how to prevent and manage diabetes, how a healthy diet and exercise can help, and where to get more information and help. What normally happens in the body? When we eat carbohydrate, it's turned into glucose, and that enters our bloodstream. A small organ in our abdomen, called the pancreas, makes insulin. Insulin is a hormone that's released when we eat. It lets the glucose out of the bloodstream and into our cells. Once the glucose is in our cells, it provides our body with the energy it needs to work properly. Insulin is like a key that unlocks cells to let glucose in. What is diabetes? Diabetes is a chronic progressive illness that's caused when there's too much glucose in the bloodstream because the pancreas is not making any or enough insulin, or because the insulin does not work properly. There are different types of diabetes. Some can be prevented, others cannot. Some types of diabetes need to be treated with medication. Others can be managed by changes to your diet and general health. Currently, there is no cure for diabetes. Once you have it for life. If diabetes is not managed, you can become very unwell, and it can lead to very serious health problems, including loss of vision, kidney disease, and amputation of limbs. Type 1 diabetes. With type 1 diabetes, the pancreas does not make insulin, so glucose stays in the bloodstream. This makes you feel very thirsty, and because you need to drink a lot, you need to urinate very frequently. People with type 1 diabetes also feel tired, lose weight very quickly, and generally feel unwell. Type 1 diabetes usually occurs in children and young adults. The cause of type 1 diabetes is unknown, but we do know that you cannot prevent yourself from getting type 1 diabetes. It is not caused by diet or other lifestyle factors, but it's managed by improving your diet and exercising. You must have insulin injections for the rest of your life from the day type 1 diabetes is diagnosed. If not diagnosed and managed properly, type 1 diabetes can have very serious health effects. Gestational diabetes. Gestational diabetes can occur during pregnancy because pregnancy hormones stop insulin from working properly. It usually goes away once the baby is born and your hormones go back to normal. All women in Australia are tested for gestational diabetes at 24 to 28 weeks of pregnancy. Women diagnosed with gestational diabetes need to monitor their diet carefully during pregnancy and may need insulin injections. Women who have had gestational diabetes are at greater risk of getting type 2 diabetes in the future, 10 times greater risk. Type 2 diabetes. With type 2 diabetes, the pancreas does not make enough insulin, or the insulin it makes does not work properly. This can make you thirsty, tired, or give you headaches, but often people won't have any symptoms at all. It's the most common type of diabetes and usually occurs in people over 45, but is increasing in younger people. Poor diet and not enough exercise increase your risk of getting type 2 diabetes. A family history of diabetes and your ethnicity also increase your risk. You can prevent yourself from getting type 2 diabetes through a healthy diet and exercise, but once you have it for life. Type 1 diabetes, signs and symptoms. Very thirsty, frequent need to urinate, tired, rapid weight loss, feeling unwell, upset tummy. If you or a family member have any of these signs or symptoms, talk to your doctor. If you're a patient at Companion House, you can also talk to a nurse about having a blood test for diabetes. Type 2 diabetes signs and symptoms. Blurred vision, slow healing of cuts, itching, skin infections, feeling dizzy, leg cramps, tired, thirsty, frequent need to urinate, gaining weight. Remember that you may have no signs or symptoms but still be in the early stages of type 2 diabetes. If you or a family member have any signs or symptoms, or you have a family history of diabetes, talk to your doctor. Remember that people from certain ethnic groups have a higher risk of getting diabetes. If you're a patient at Companion House, you can talk to a nurse about having a blood test for diabetes. The health effects of diabetes. If diabetes is left undiagnosed or is not managed properly, it can lead to serious and often life-threatening health conditions, including heart disease, kidney disease, blindness, limb amputation, erectile dysfunction, and persistent infections. The risk of these health problems can be reduced substantially by making changes to your diet and increasing the amount of exercise in your day. How to prevent diabetes. You can reduce your risk of getting type 2 and gestational diabetes by eating healthy foods, including lots of fruit and vegetables, exercising regularly with a goal of 30 to 40 minutes per day, drinking water with a goal of 1 litre per day, trying to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night, limiting alcohol to 1 drink per day and trying not to drink every day, not smoking, limiting the amount of sugar in your diet to 6 teaspoons per day. Consider that 1 can of soft drink contains 8 teaspoons of sugar. How to manage diabetes. If you have diabetes, you can manage it by being careful with your diet, low fat, salt and sugar, and eating lots of fruit and vegetables, seeing a doctor and getting the correct medication. From the day a person's diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, they need insulin every day. This is injected into the stomach. All people with diabetes need to monitor their blood glucose levels using a small machine that takes a drop of their blood. It's important to exercise regularly to keep your weight down and your body healthy. A healthy diet, balance and portion size. People with diabetes and those who want to reduce their risk of type 2 and gestational diabetes should follow the Australian Guidelines for Healthy Eating. The guidelines recommend eating lots of fruit and vegetables and alternating lean meat with fish and vegetarian meals. Correct portions and a balanced meal are important. A healthy plate is divided into a half plate of vegetables, 1/4 protein and 1/4 carbohydrate. Avoid large portion sizes. A healthy serving of meat or fish is the same size as the palm of your hand. Try to eat lots of whole grain carbohydrates, such as brown rice and bread. Make exercise part of your day. Make exercise part of your day by walking or cycling to school, work or the shops. Find ways of exercising as a family or with friends by going for a walk or a ride together, visiting the swimming pool or joining a class with a friend, or finding a class online. Find a place to exercise close to your home or in your home. It doesn't have to be complicated. Start small and try to increase your daily exercise to 30 or 40 minutes a day. Where to get more information and help? Visit your doctor. Ask for a blood test if you're worried about your risk of diabetes. Visit the National Diabetes Service Scheme website for more information in your language. Visit the Diabetes New South Wales and ACT website for information in your language. Remember, there are 3 main types of diabetes: type 1, type 2, and gestational diabetes. If you have diabetes, glucose stays in your bloodstream rather than entering your cells and muscles. High levels of glucose in the blood makes you feel sick and can cause serious health problems, including loss of vision, kidney disease, and amputation of limbs. You can prevent type 2 and gestational diabetes by eating a healthy diet and exercising. Type 1 diabetes cannot be prevented or cured, but it can be managed. If you notice any of the signs or symptoms of diabetes in yourself or your family, see your doctor.